Hello and welcome to episode 2 of my Working with Work series, a series of videos designed to help you deal with some of the issues that we face when we're trying to be more productive and more organized in our working and personal lives. And in this episode, I want to talk to you a little bit about self-discipline. Now, self-discipline, some people think it's something that some people are born with, but that's not actually true. Self-discipline is something that you can train yourself to be. And I don't know when I became a self-disciplined person. That it appears to have just happened naturally. But if I have something that needs to be done, I usually am very, very good at doing it. Now, a really good example of that is over here in Seoul this week. We've had quite a bit of snow, and although you can't see out the window, it snowed again last night. So all the pavements around my running area are just covered in snow. It's also -8 degrees outside, so not really a pleasant day, but I do need to go for a run this afternoon, and that is something that I will do, even though it might not be the most pleasant run I do. But I know that exercise is something that I must do, and because it makes me feel so much better. And so I will get out there this afternoon, no matter what the weather is, and I will go out running. And to do that takes self-discipline. But it's something that I know if I don't do, I'm going to feel quite guilty about. Now, for those of you who are trying to be more productive, it doesn't really matter what system you use, but you do need to follow the structure and the rules that you've set up to follow that system. So, for example, if you follow Franklin Covey's Franklin Planner system, where it recommends that you do a 10 to 15 minute planning and solitude session every day, either first thing in the morning or last thing in the evening, that's something that you must do. That's 7 days a week. Now, I'm a GTDer. I follow Getting Things Done by David Allen. And part of that process is to capture, collect, clarify, organize, review, and then engage. Now, the thing is, capturing is something that to me is fundamental with GTD. And what that means is that I capture all my ideas, all my commitments, and all my tasks into one place and then process it. Now, for me, I try to process every 24 hours, and 99% of the time I do that. But I do have a rule that on a Friday, when I finish work, that is it. No more. I can just do whatever I want. And quite often that means I can go out and buy myself a nice pizza, some chocolate, and I can sit down and have a Netflix evening. And I can binge watch on Netflix if that's what I want to do. I allow myself a reward for actually being self-disciplined throughout the week. But Sunday right through to Thursday, I can promise you that I do my daily mini review. I do process my tasks. It only takes me 10 minutes, and I know how I feel if I don't do it. So the pain of not doing it is far more disturbing to me than just not doing it. So I can afford to give myself 10 to 15 minutes every evening, process my inbox, clarify, get everything done for the next week. Now, if you are just starting out on GTD or any kind of productivity system, what you do need to do is to start small. So if you're not a particularly self-disciplined person, I strongly recommend that you don't try and do everything all at once. So don't try and lose 10 kilograms in this month and start a productivity system and keep your house clean and do the washing up before you go to bed every night. I mean, you're just going to fail because there's far too many things that you're trying to do. What you need to do is start small. So let's take, for example, doing the dishes or washing up before you go to bed at the end of the day. I strongly recommend that you just do that one in month 1. So let's say February's coming up. So you decide in February, I am going to do the dishes every night before I go to bed, come what may, for the whole of February. If you like, you can call it a 28-day challenge. By the end of February, though, that habit or that task that you've set yourself will have become a habit. And once it becomes a habit, you don't need to worry about self-discipline. Now let's go back to the productivity side. If you're a GTDer, okay, you're going to capture and you're going to capture and collect, and then you need to process. And you want an empty inbox every 28 to 48 hours. So that's what you do. 28-day challenge in February. I am going to process my inbox every evening or first thing in the morning before I start work. And I'm going to do that for 28 days straight. What you'll find by the end of February is that you've actually it's a habit. And if you don't do it, you'll feel rather uncomfortable until you do it. And that is what I call the beauty of self-discipline. It's something that, yes, at first there's quite a bit of pain point and it's a bit difficult, but if you're determined enough, you're only going to do it for 28 days. The beauty is, after 28 days, what's going to happen is it becomes a habit. And once it becomes a habit, you don't even think about it, you just do it. So one of the things I can assure you that if you're not going to be self-disciplined about your productivity system or about your life in general, you are going to fail at everything that you try and do. So it's really important that you start getting yourself into the habit of doing the stuff that's important. To me, processing my inbox at the end of every day is important. But I'm also a realist, and I do understand that there are times when I go out for a dinner, maybe with some clients, and we have a few too many beers. Well, hey, come on. I'm not really going to be in a very good state when I get home to do the mini review. Or to do my processing. So that's okay. I can pass it off. I can have a quick check on the way home or when I get home, see if there's anything really important, and then just wait until the next day. So don't be too hard on yourself, but you do need to try and make it into a habit. And what I find is if you set yourself up on like a 28-day challenge, February is a perfect month to do this, do a 28-day challenge, take one or two things, but no more than two, and see if you can develop into a habit. Because once it becomes a habit, I can promise you it's no longer a pain point. It's just something you do. And that's really the beauty of self-discipline. It's all about getting into the habit of doing something. Of course, there's quite some pain to get it started, but once it's become a habit, and that takes 3 to 4 weeks, but once it becomes a habit, it's no longer something you have to think about. It's no longer something that you feel is a burden. You just do it. So what I'm really saying about self-discipline is it's something that you can learn, and it's something that if you truly want to be organized, and if you truly want to be productive, then you are going to have to get self-discipline. Other areas where you need self-discipline is being able to turn your phone off for an hour and get on with some focused work. Hey, it's only 1 hour. The world is not going to end. And if it did it really matter? But the thing is that you need to focus on getting that one thing done. Try as hard as you can to make it into a habit. And once it's a habit, it's no longer something you have to worry about. So there you go. That's really all I wanted to tell you about self-discipline. Self-discipline is a vital part of your life if you want to be productive and organized. You need to stick to it. You need to keep going, no matter how you feel. But hey, don't forget to give yourself a reward once or twice a week. As I say, for me, Friday nights and Saturday nights are kind of my reward nights. I can do whatever I want, whatever I'm in the mood for. But the rest of the week, Sunday to Thursday, I have a fixed system that I follow before I go to bed. Helps me to sleep better. It makes me feel a lot happier. I don't have that guilt, and I certainly don't feel any of that stress that a lot of people complain about. So there you go. That's my bit on self-discipline. Have a go at trying something next month. We're only 10 days away or 9 days away from February now. So have a think about it over the next 9 days. what would you really like to change about yourself that's going to make a big difference in your life, and give yourself a 28-day challenge to see if you can get it done. Okay, thanks again for watching this episode 2 of my Working with Work series. I hope you're enjoying this series, and if you have anything that I would like to anything you'd like me to discuss in this little series, please leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to put that into the series over the next few weeks. Thanks again for watching, and I wish you all a very, very productive week.